Hi there, TheNamesNiko, and welcome back to my playthrough of Citizen Sleeper 2. So in the last part, we mainly just did everything here on the spindle. Did a bunch of stuff, we got a new characters, you can see all the shit we have. Obviously you should go watch the last part to figure out. So yeah, now we're going to float some. This is what we're going to do this part. Let's go. I'm going to take -3 hunt. Just fine. We are done on this place for now. We have to come back once we do the other quest. It's hard to tell where Flotsam ends and the ships packed at its many docking bridges begin. As Seraphim docks with its station, you realize that the rig now looks like just another piece of accumulated technology, one more bit of driftwood added to the raft. I love this place. Seraphim smiles as he shuts down the engines. You never know what you'll find. You've been here before? Yeah, back when I first came to the belt. The crew I signed on with used to run salvage jobs out of here. Fun place to spend your wages. You see Bliss eyeing the station with what looks like both horror and fascination. You see the seals, they point to some twisted assemblage of ship parts. Total cowboy welds, they could pop any moment. Seraphim waves away their concerns. Oh, that's just the outer layer. I heard there's 6 or 7 in all, so if one fails, it's no problem. He stretches and turns to you. You gotta taste some of the stuff they grow in old Tuckahey. He kisses his fingers. That's the good shit. Oh great, Bliss sighs. So many layers of redundancy and fallbacks that you have no hope of isolating a leak and fixing it. The wrap on the wall of the rig. Sounds like a ship I know. And defend the rig. Seraphim joins in, and the two of you shoulder to shoulder. She's got you out of here, didn't she? Oh, she got you out of here, didn't she? He shrugs at Bliss. No sense of gratitude. I was joking. Bliss looks a little hurt and drifts out of the cockpit, shaking their head. You look follow, but Seraphim puts a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper. He looks suddenly serious. Remember what I said about getting checked out? There are artificers all over this place. I'll take a bit of searching, but we need to know what's going on with you. He meets your eye. And that's why we're here. Good, Seraphim nods. Let me know what they say. I'm gonna go see if any of my old haunts are still open. He drifts out of the cockpit with a mock salute. Catch you later. You are left alone in the cockpit with a view of Flotsam's chaotic structure. Look over the multicolored plating. It does, you men, have a certain charm. And welcome to the Flotsam. This is the little place. Wow. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty tiny, I'm gonna admit. I thought it was gonna be your Flotsam's hub. Let's go. Or Flotsam, I'm covering it, I'm sorry. A ramshackle assemblage of decommissioned ships and wrecks. To call Flotsam labyrinthine a serious understatement. Flotsam is made from maybe hundreds of ships gathered and modified over time. The engineer might be able to identify them. Well, that's me, I'm an engineer. New location discovered. Yeah, what's new locations? Oh, the Nero escape. Take recovery contract. Nero escape's barman, Botan, has a tip about a recovery contract for a few chits. He'll give you the coordinates. Ooh. Fine, Alma. Safe. Okay, it's a safe one. That's good. My rig's blown its propulsion, and I'm stranded on some god-forbidden rock. Repair crew needed. Full split hull. No time wasters or thieves. I'm armed. Recover stranded rig. Payment and scrap and components. You know what? I'll do it. I have the chits. Okay, Ferris tanker. And refuel. Let's refuel. We can buy scrap components here. Interesting. Okay. Got a negative outcome, unfortunately. Warning, glitch dice slotted. We got positive. Nice, nice. New location discovered. The old oh, this is what he said. The old Takake. Work for hydroponics. Old Takake isn't the oldest ship in the float zone and now serves as a huge hydroponic farm, keeping the station alive. Ships are always available. We can buy supplies here. Okay, okay. Well, currently we are out to die. So let's end the cycle here. And let's finish this last exploration. Oh, I clicked something. Oh, I was trying to leave. Oh, the chaos of Bloodsome intrigues you. Oh, I guess I completed it. I didn't realize. Passage to Passage is the most incoherent place you have ever visited. Plating, cladding, and cushioning of all kinds of conditions hides a forest of wires and ducts, interfacing in ways their manufacturers would never dream possible. Rooms are crushed cargo bays, flipped bridges, and eviscerated engine rooms. Patchwork corridors are lumpen with messy welds, bending worryingly along their length. It is, to put it nicely, a total mess. It's not that you don't like it, but finding an artificer among this chaos has been more than a little challenging. This cycle, searching these winding passages once more, seeing only scrap merchants and junk shops, you have begun to wonder if Seraphin has had any idea what he was talking about when he advised you to come here. A sleeper, a voice cuts through the pungent air. Well, I never. You glance in the voice's direction and find yourself looking at a small booth piled with tech. Behind a fogged and scratched plastic screen is a meticulously arranged counter, the only clear spot in sight. At it, an older man with wet and wandering eyes sits by. Approach the booth. Jean-Mi tilts his head. I didn't mean to be rude, please, and he bows a little. You know what, it's okay. He smiles warmly, almost bowing again, his hunched shoulders accentuating the movement. How he pauses, taking care with his speech now. How are you feeling, sleeper? He beckons you a little closer. I'm Jean-Michel. Oh, please, to you, Jean-Mi. I work with machines. He sweeps a hand above his counter where you see configurations of tiny parts, mostly small ones. He smiles. Look, okay, I'm not great. Of course, he chops with his hands to indicate a stool with a leg bar, meant for perching beside his counter, and such is the clarity and persuasiveness of his movement that you obligingly sit. Your presence is a rare honor here, he smiles and looks down into his lap. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I am just very pleased to see you. Can I help you with something? I was more imagining I could help you. I can see your journey to me has not been easy, he says with genuine concern. You track his eyes across your body, noticing the scuff marks on your thick, vinyl-like skin, the replaced and broken parts of your body, and marks of violence. You pull your jacket a little tighter. Jean-Mi folds his hands one over the other and places them on the counter. I do not know what your experiences have been, but I want to assure you that I see you as a person, a being, a soul, shall we say, as valid as any other. Look on Jean-Mi, his own age and wear almost evident. A life of precise and careful work shaping his body into a reflection of his process. You note his unconfident way of speaking, which betrays a certain loneliness, a lack of practice. This is his turn to feel observed. I understand. You are kind. The frankness of the remark takes you by surprise. He looks down at the counter and begins to take apart a tiny piece of machinery that sits there. Many years ago, when I began my apprenticeship, I would find that whenever I saw something that, was not working well, I was fixated on it and its repair. He tinkers with the parts, twisting them precisely. Of course, the belt is filled with this kind of dysfunctional detail. And so I was busy for many years with these small fixings. He smiles in reminiscence. But now, I find that when I am interested in a thing that is not working as it should, he sharply twists one of the parts between his fingers, is because it might have some quality not yet foreseen or discovered. He releases the altered object into the air where balletically twists in a hypnotic display like a spinning top whose movements are totally unpredictable. Jean-Mi smiles at you, watching his hypnotic toy. I can see you are in a process of becoming a sleeper. He catches the spinning toy between a finger and thumb. Let me aid you. I can see you're in the process of becoming a sleeper. What do you mean? Jean-Mi's precious hands drop to a device around his neck. He defiantly pulls a pair of goggles up to his face, masking his wet eyes. Hold still, sleeper. Something flickers inside the goggles, their face blank. Jean-Mi's hands play across buttons and switches on the exterior, tuning, focusing. Not work. When the goggles are finally lowered, they reveal the look of concern on Jean-Mi's face. I think you better come inside. He kicks off from his desk and disappears. A moment later, you hear a rattle and a small bulkhead door beside the booth that you had assumed was rusted shut creaks open. Jean-Mi beckons you inside. Jean-Mi's workshop is even more cramped than you expected. As you enter, you are surrounded on all sides with netting, holding bundles and bundles of terminals, servers, drives, and cables. At its center, a padded seat and a set of articulated arms mounted with sensors and tools fill the space. The seat, please, Jean-Mi gestures it with a polite smile. Sit. You tentatively settle on the seat, slipping your arms and feet into the straps meant to keep you from floating out of it in 0G. Jean-Mi floats beside you. He looks across your body. There's damage here, I see that. We will get to that. But I see something else here as well. This is why you came. He looks at you solemnly. What are you talking about? Please, sleeper, let us be frank with each other. Though I have never met a sleeper, I have studied them. I was lucky to acquire some materials from Essen's art some time ago in the interest of my own endeavors. We began arranging a series of sensors around you on articulated arms. You are presently distinct from those materials. His eyes flash with excitement. Am I right in thinking you have been modified? I rebooted myself. Yes, I see that your dependency on stabilizer on the immune recoding portion of its makeup, at least, has been broken. Gives you a precise look. That is not all. You are physically modified, not externally, but internally. He carefully positions the final sensor. Your tracker is disabled, which makes it impossible for Essen to find you. Congratulations. He smiles broadly. But this is not all. You have been modified, yes, but you are also being modified as we speak. You feel strange claustrophobia at Jean-Mi's statement. Modified? Seraphim rebooted your system, ran the recoding process, but that shouldn't have physically changed you. It only removed your planned obsolescence. How? Jean-Mi goes to a terminal and flicks a switch. With the back of the translucent screen, you see a nodal web of in the vague shape of a sitting body, your body. These changes appear to be complex, subtle, but consistent. Jean-Mi goes silent as he taps at the terminal, a representation of your body rotating and unfolding in unsettling motions. What changes? See here, he points at a flickering representation of your spine, tracing a line towards your head. Your nervous system is growing additional nodal points here and here. Meanwhile, your emulation interface is growing an unbiblical axis point. No, towards what end I am unsure. You instinctively reach back and touch the base of your head. As you do, the scan flickers and screeches with noise. You feel for something there, growing under your thick, vital skin. Can you feel a lump, or is that just your imagination? You pick at it. Jean-Mi sighs and shuts off the terminal. The changes are partial, and, in all honesty, he gestures sharply at the sensors. Resolution is too poor. I need to run a full diagnostic, but for that I would need... He drifts over to another terminal and brings up screens of text and diagrams. Yes, some kind of medium to hold your suspended emulation. The access check I can build myself, but we will need to bridge your emulation. Jean-Mi speaks quietly, almost to himself. A ship mine would be an ideal... Oh, the ship mines. That's from the first game, by the way. Ship mine would be ideal for this. Would have to be high capacity, a prime mine ship, Solheim in origin. Perhaps Healing Gate might hold records of any that were in the system. He taps at a terminal. That means turns back to you. Yes, the prime mine ship is essential if we wish further investigations to be done. I'll need this above all. He thumbs the terminal off. I am sorry to say, sleeper. Can you tell me more accurately? No, he meshes his fingers in front of his chest. It is clear that a process has begun. but has yet to be complete. Jamin busies himself with taking down the sensors and folding away the articulated arms. As he does, you try to calm yourself. Feel as if you have worms under your skin, and it takes all your focus not to pick at its seams. Jamin suddenly but gently places a hand on yours. Please, remain calm. He puts a carefully restored rare component in your hand. This can help. Jamin waits for you to fall still. Then he leans back a little, relieving some of the strange intimacy of the moment. For now, our work is concluded. He meshes his fingers again and bows with a small head bob. But you're welcome anytime. You know what, thank you. Of course. His manner seems to have returned to something more businesslike. A humble man who knows his customers' needs. You get up from the seat, a little dazed, and push away into the passage. Safe travels, sleeper, Jami says quietly, placing the promised list in your hand as he lets you back into the station. You leave dazed, unsure of how to feel about the insistence on this man's particular kindness, most of all haunted by the idea of the unseen processes that are running within you. I think the process or something is how we're being tracked. That's what I think. I can't think of it by rain, isn't it? Lane by lane. That's how we're being tracked by lane. Part of you does not wish to know anything further, to leave this place and never look back, and another is desperate to immediately retrieve every object on this list so that you may know what strangeness is happening within you. For now, you must steady yourself and find a way to continue. Seraphim comes to find you in your bunk. After Shamin's assessment, you find yourself drifting back to the rig, in need of the familiarity and comfort of your own ship. Sleeper, he drifts in. You found an artificer. He hovers by the door, concerned. I'll explain. I trust him. I'm not going to conceal the truth from him. Tell him about Jean-Mi and how he offered you repairs and ran an assessment on your frame, of your frame. Describe the crammed booth, the articulated arms, the strangeness of seeing your own body, and anatomized upon the terminal screen. And then you tell him that your body is changing, growing in ways Jean-Mi cannot identify, that some process has been started and you do not know where it will end. You mention umbilical ports and nodal ports, trying your best to remember the details of the things Jean-Mi asked you to retrieve. Jeffrey grows pale and silent. He shakes his head when you stop talking. Lane, he frowns. That piece of shit has to be behind it. I mean, perhaps, for sure. Seraphim looks stubbornly at the floor. I mean, that's what I suspected too. We'll get you what you need. We'll find that ship mine. He nods. A bit of work here and there, and we can make it to Healing Gate and wherever else. What about your stuff? We'll do that too. He thumbs the wall. We're free, sleeper. No one can stop us. Just say the word, okay? He goes quiet. Don't give up on yourself just yet, he smiles. Get up and get back to it. And with that, he turns and kicks off down the corridor, disappearing from sight. You wait a little while, staring at the stained ceiling of the bunks, letting the thoughts settle in your mind. And then, when you're ready, you get up and leave, dazed with a stony determination growing in your chest. Oh, okay, so integrator offices. Okay, so what do I need? I need to locate a ship at Helium. We have to go to Helium Gate? What is this? So, engine. Why do I need engine components? Okay, so let me just check. Is this like a map? Okay, let me just... So we have to go... Oh, we have to go back down here. Okay. Okay, and Shamin's booth. Okay. We need to get a prime and a ship mine. What does this do? Just give us money? Yeah, okay, I guess so. Okay. I'm not trying to lose energy for that. No, is there... should be able to buy. Okay, let's No. Okay, let's go here. Can we just take both of them? Let's go. Like, why can't I take both? Let's just take both people. Keep your hands where I can see them. A voice crackles over the open channel of your suit comms as you near the stranded rig. You slow your approach a little as you move towards the ship. Its shape lumpy and skeletal in the distant light of the sun. A warm welcome bodes well for the rest of the job. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. You look up at the stranded ship ahead. Clearly they are feeling a bit exposed. Also, look at my dice rolls. I high rolled today. God damn. Look, we're here to help. Well, I figured that, the voice retorts. Otherwise, I would have put a hole in that shiny rig of yours already. You arrive at the side of the rig, inspecting the damage as you do. Half the hull plating and big chunks of the internal structure seem to be missing, but you have a feeling that this is not what you are here to fix. The airlock opens and you move inside. The interior all exposed wires and metal framework. The systems wheeze and shudder as it cycles. Nothing of value here, so if you're looking to steal something, y'all welcome to it. Oh, you're welcome to it. Alma greets you plainly inside the rig. You do the work that's needed and I'll let you take half the haul. You know what? Understood. I don't care. Alright then, her face is as placid and unchanging as a rock. Here's the short of it. Engine's conked out on me, and I'm no engineer. Can usually get her going, but this time no dice. She looks between you and the rest of the crew. Surprised there's so many of you, to be honest. Bliss smiles sympathetically. Sorry about that, but don't worry. I've worked on these engines before. They give Alma a wink. I can handle this. Don't be so sure. Alma leads you towards the engine room. The layout of her rig much the same as yours. This girl is the sensitive type. You need to know how to handle her. The central corridor of the ship sneaks in a way that isn't familiar to you, and you realize this rig is far more heavily modified than your own. Feeling that becomes all the more obvious when you arrive in the engine room. Rather than the rig's stock engine, a singular block and double turbine with feed lines between, Alma's engine is a mess of piping and feed lines linking up multiple raw components welded to the interior frame of the room. Your eyes widen at the sight. Been adding to her since I was young. Alma smiles at the chaos. It might look like a mess, but she purrs when she's running. I'm just looking at the character. Interesting. Bliss is shaking her head slowly. Oh, sleeper. Let out a puff of air. This is going to be special. You struggle to tell if they are intimidated or impressed. Perhaps it's a little bit of both. That's about all of it. Alma gestures to the exploded engine. Get her running and you'll get your half of the haul. What's the haul? Alma glides over to a window set in the side of the engine room, points to the corroded remains of a facility deep in the asteroid's loose, dusty surface. There's the haul. She taps on the glass. As good as fine as I'm ceiling. The hull's a building and all that's in it. Alma screws up her face. What, you too good for scrapping? By rights, that building's mine. Scrapper's claim. Alma scratches at her mess of hair. But you help me get her running, and you're welcome to take what you want from it, up to a maximum of 50% of raw mass. That's it. We have to extract ourselves. Looks you up and down, and you feel the first acknowledgement of you being a sleeper. I doubt it'll trouble one of you. Anyway, you're leaving with nothing unless my girl here is back in shape by the time you're done. She folds her arms across her chest, so get to it. You turn back to the engine, your eyes tracing the madness of the interlocking systems. You're starting to have the horrible feeling that this contract is some kind of elaborate joke. Okay, well, let's start with this then. What do we need? Alma's girl. The old engine has seen a lot of use and modification. Fixing it means learning how it works. Engine labor. With a system this complex, you either understand it or approach it systematically, checking a piece and by maddening piece. Engine study. Alma's engineering fills the room like some esoteric sculpture. Try to fix it and must be studied, understood. So yeah, I have perfect rolls for engineer, by the way. 100% positive. I just high rolled today. So I'll just use them all. This looks interesting. There's neutral outcome. Okay, there we go. Fixed up. You all gather in Alma's rig to see the engine tested. The engine room purrs and shitters. It seems to warm with the sound of the engine, with the polyrhythmic vibrations that rattle through the open framework of the interior. You look over to Alma and you see her eyes are closed, a small tremble at the corner of her mouth. You look at the engine, Alma's engine, an object that you have come to respect over the past cycles. Well, it hasn't even been one cycle, but even if you haven't necessarily grown to love it, it is, as you see it now, a difficult thing to love. Whole parts of it made little sense, and its oldest systems, those now bypassed and made obsolete by newer additions, still somehow play an integral role you don't understand. It is unwieldy, and unnecessarily so, and the accumulation of parts and patches from its long service makes it surprisingly fragile. Meanwhile, other sections have been welded and re-welded so many times that they are impregnable and will never be able to replace. It is uncooperative and prone to sudden outbursts of cooling fluid or even fuel. It is restless and will begin to leak when left idle for too long. It is always too cold or too hot thanks to the coolant and the fuel. It is hard to predict which it will be at any given moment. And yet, despite all this, it is an object you feel close to, that you feel a kinship with, because in the end, you, too, are an accumulation of broken parts, long outliving their operational limits. You, too, are a machine that have become a story that has grown beyond the ability of others to understand it. Look over to Alma again, and Bliss is there beside her. You can see they are talking, but with the engine running, you cannot hear them. You watch for a moment, Bliss now patiently listening as, in faltering words, Alma explains something to them. Bliss nods, and then suddenly they embrace, gently and with care. Bliss pushes back, and as soon as the moment has passed, it seems like it might not have happened at all. Nothing in the two figures' attitudes betrays the act, and the room seems unchanged. Try to remember if you have seen them speaking before now. You recall there are many moments where you are not with Bliss. As you watch Alma approach, you realize the engine is not just special to you, that between her and Bliss, it might have been the bridge to a unique kind of respect. That's the job, Sleeper. Alma approaches you from the other side of the room, and you know where the payment is to be found. I believe that brings our business to an end. Alma scratches at her hair, unless y'all have something to add. What do you do now? I believe that's my business. She bristles at the question. I need to find somewhere quiet to resupply, and so on. I don't think you'd like my usual haunts. She gives you a sly look. I appreciate the assistance. You are welcome to take what you want from the hangar. If you haven't already, you see a knowing shimmer in her eyes. Now, I must kindly ask you to leave my ship. As the airlock cycles, you look across at Bliss and swear you see a tear in her eye. I almost say, Bliss turns to you as if they forgot you were there. She just reminded me of why I do what I do, why I fix things. They look ahead. There's beauty in it. Find yourself drifting away from Alma's rig in a haze of thoughts. It's clear to you at this point that Alma's history is written all over this place. But more than that, well, you can't be sure. This story, it seems, isn't for you. Realize as you gaze at the broken remains of the facility that Alma never took any of her half of the hall. You turn back and squint at the cockpit of her rig. You see her there, looking out across this wasteland, still as a statue. It's an image that, as you load into the rig and begin the preparations to depart, will stick with you. One that every time you enter the engine room of your ship, a room almost identical to the engine room of Alma's rig, will leap into your mind. A woman floating above the wreck of what was once her home, looking for a reason to keep going. We're done the contract, but obviously we're going to take our part. So we have endure from you. Okay, so gather scrap. Beyond the corroded outer wall, this place is just scrap. This is scrapper's work, and it takes resilience more than skill, and then component search. In the corroded, ragged remains of this facility, there still might be valuables tucked away. The trick is to find them. Okay, we'll do this. Raw material. No, 1+1 raw material, okay. We're gonna sleep. End cycle. We have no dice. Okay. 50-50 on the hidden treasures. Neutral, I got a little bit of stress, unfortunately. Also got a little stress. I won't get stressed from this, luckily. You shouldn't get stressed from this either. 50-50. Luckily you high rolled as well. Nice. We smashed it. We got it. Was that Solheim data we just got? And we just need a neutral or positive here. If I will do it then. We got it. What did we get? Engine components, maybe? Or is it just... We only have one raw scrap. I processed that scrap earlier. You guys would have seen what I got because I can't notice it. We got no more material. Rest a moment, taking a break from dragging the plates you've cut across the asteroid surface. You find yourself looking up towards Alma's rig, still there on the edge of the crater, and wondering if she's watching. With her engine fixed, you have expected her to leave immediately, but she remains there on the horizon, unable to leave this place. As if in response, your comms channel buzz. A nice battle you got there, Alma announces herself on the open channel. We'll make scrappers of you kids yet. That scrap will earn you a pretty penny if you know what you're doing, she continues. Holmes Rock, always a good place to offload. I'll give you that for free. If you look at the stack of ragged torch-cut plates as they are loaded up into the rig's cargo hold, and you have to admit, you do feel a little pride at the work you've done. You know what, thanks. You earn it. Oh, you earned it. You glance over your shoulder at the cockpit of Alma's rig, where you can see her watching. What are you doing out here? There's a click on the open channel as it closes, and Alma seems to take a moment to consider her response. Let me ask you a question, Sleeper. She clears her throat. What do you think this place was? There's gotta be something with Solheim, because we got Solheim data. A Solheim faculty? Alma coughs and sputters. Oh, hell no, this place ain't old enough or solid enough to be from before the collapse. Oh, it wasn't? I got some Solheim data. Maybe that was from before, I don't remember. Guys, plus those old corporate types refer to much grander projects than a tin pot hanger on a dusty rock. Alma gets quiet for a moment. Or goes, sorry. But you wait, getting the feeling there's still more to be said. See the old arrays on the far side? You turn and look up the rock towards the broken frames and panels you can just make out in the dust, catching the sun's weak light. Those were the first priority. Get power running. Recharge the cells for the excavators, the welders. Turn the scrap into something livable. She falters and coughs. Look at them now. You see the tumbled down collection of panels. They look like they were scattered by a careless hand, discarded without much thought. The comms channel clicks off, and you see the distant silhouette of Alma drift from view out of the cockpit of her rig. We turn back to see that the scrap has been loaded into the ship. You're half of the haul, though you suspect this place is more than just a haul to Alma. Oh, there we got some raw scrap again. There's a hiss and a rush of stale air as the sealed bay, deep in the facility tunnels, opens for the first time in years. The beams of your suit lamps reach into the dark, picking out waves of dust and debris. They reveal a small bay, big enough for a shuttle, but not of yours. As you glide inside, those same beams catch on the frame of something that sits at the center of the bay. It is wide and flat, with a cylindrical central section that runs its length. As you move across it, looking at the sections of plates and open frame, you realize it is a ship, or at least it was. This frame, filled with rusted components and particularly covered with old hull plates, suggests a fast ship, an arrowhead designed to cut through debris and even atmosphere. You float up a little to see into the central cylinder, and your lamps reveal a cockpit outfitted for two people. One sat behind the other. The seats are carefully upholstered, and you realize that this was a labor of love. The whole ship, in fact, seems built by hand, a custom model with little function out here beyond looping around asteroids for the thrill of it. Looking closer, brushing away the surface corrosion, you see flames painted on the hull plates in curling patterns, the brushstrokes visible even after what must be many years. As you expect the half-finished ship, a sense of quiet wonder keeps you silent. You notice a glint towards its rear. You approach it and see an engine, all interlocking tubes and flared vents. It is unlike any you have ever seen, but the holes in its sides suggest it may never have been finished. Those holes are the source of the glint. You reach in and pull out some strange-looking engine components, each pristine and complex. You hesitate for a moment, suddenly feeling like you shouldn't be disturbing such an intimate object. But it occurs to you that nothing would please the person who built the ship more than seeing these handmade components put to use. You secure them to your suit and push away from the ship. As you leave the bay, you turn and take one last look at the treasure inside. It's possible that it never flew, or perhaps it was in the middle of an extensive refit when this place was abandoned. Either way, its flying years have long since passed, and now with the bay open, it will corrode much faster, melding with the nominized scrap of this place in mere cycles. You suppress a shiver, and then start the journey back up to the surface, aware of the components dangling at your side. Okay, we got more engine components, very nice. Okay, so we are done now. Let's leave. Okay, so you can buy engine components, but I don't think it's really worth it. Okay, I want to work. There's not much here, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll just use all my pieces here, I guess. Get a bit of scrap, get a bit of cryo. Worst, I just lose some energy. That's a negative reaction. Yeah, that's fine. It happens. Okay, and then we go here. Buy ourselves a meal. We go resupply. Sorry, that's my meal. Okay, we're all filled up. Now we're gonna go. Because we can't do anything here. We have to go to Healing Gate, Wellspring, Greenbelt, Scatter Yards. Yeah, we just have to go to new places. So let's leave Map, Belt. Let's go to our next location, Healing Gate. We're gonna lose 3 of the hunt. I need some water. Okay. The rig. Healing Gate hangs over the rig. Its corroded arches resemble the dislocated vertebrae of some vast, long-dead serpent. That's one big, ugly scrap pile, Seraphim whistles from the pilot seat. Solheim didn't like to build them small. What was it for? Seraphim shakes his head. System's biggest door, only opened if you ask nicely. Gotta be big if you want to fit every ship that visits the system through it. This cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Impressive, really, building something so massive out here. Solheim liked to impress visitors, sure. Seraphim leans forward, looking for the best place to enter the structure. But they also like to scan entire ships and impound those that didn't enter through the gate. Seraphim catches your eye, looking for some agreement. Not the most admirable qualities. I don't know, it seems impressive to me. Seraphim shakes his head. Gotta say, I'm surprised to hear a sleeper impressed by corporate infrastructure. Don't let them bait you, sleeper. Bliss rolls their eyes. Solheim were cruel and ruthless, but without them, the system would just be 2 gas giants and a load of rocks. No harm in recognizing it. You look out of the cockpit towards the gate, its layers of systems and rooms slowly opening to the void, peeling away cycle after cycle to reveal the bones beneath. This is where Jean-Mi mentioned you might be able to find the location of a ship with its prime ship mine among the old shipping manifests in Solheim records. Look over the towering structure of the gate. This is going to take some work. Suddenly, a flash high up on the gate catches your eye. A light turning on and off again for a moment. You lose track of it. Is this place inhabited? Seraphin raises an eyebrow. I doubt it. He winks and smiles. You hoping for a station inside bar? I have a feeling you'll be disappointed. Unless we find an executive's old liquor cabinet. Bliss pats you on the shoulder and trips out of the cockpit. Time to see what secrets the gate has left. Okay. So there's actually no one here. Interesting. Customs Hall, Solheim Records. Power up the archives. One way to get the data you need from the archive is to power up the whole machinery of it. A daunting engineering task. Extract the records interface. Slower than turning on the entire archive, selectively extracting records is the safer and slower method to get what you need. Well, again, we are an engineer, so we just take the positive. We get +3 for positive outcome, which is nice. Ooh, nice. Let's see what this one, the Customs Hall. Explore the corridors. Dark corridors lead off into the abandoned facility with no map and no one to guide you. Picking a direction and following it is the only option. Scan the hallway. Once a bustling entry point, the Customs Hall was abandoned at the collapse. With some careful analysis, you can find what was left behind. Yeah, sure. Positive outcome. Ooh, new location discovered. What we discovered? Oh, a Delaric fuel barge. Scavenge fuel. Okay, this shattered, jagged old barge once carried a fleet's worth of fuel. With care and time, you may be able to scavenge some of it for your ship. Okay, yeah, because we're only at... We filled up to get here, and it cost us 8 fuel, so we're gonna need more fuel. What is... End the cycle. Okay. First off, let's just do this one. I don't even really think we need... I'll just take the perfect one, actually. What? I thought it was a... whatever. Oh, I'm dumb, I used the wrong side. I used interface instead of engineer. Okay. In the dark and airless void of the archive, something flickers. You have been working in the dark, picking through the guts of corroded machines, skimming the data in their corrupt memories, digging through a graveyard in search of ghosts. But now, with another flicker, the place begins to come back to life. All around the rows of benches, some of them crushed by fallen ceiling panels, terminals begin to flicker into uneasy life. Cacophony of... I said that word right. Of distorted sounds accompany the machines, and some of them immediately glitch and spark. Did you do this? You stand frozen as the archive glitters around you with a million shipping entries. The stream of information is overwhelming. Node graphs drawing out routes and inventories, tracing a web around you in pale cyan. Suddenly, they all shut off. The terminals blinking out together, leaving a single translucent screen glowing softly in the dim room. And in that dim room, drifting towards you out in the dark, you see a figure. Is this what you are looking for? A voice crackles aggressively through your suit's comms. Who are you? Sleeper, is that you? You hear Junie's voice now, tense and unsure. Junie stops beside the single online terminal, her suited form lit in pale light. Junie, hear a smile in the voice. Good to see you around. Good to see you again. He pauses and glances around, though the venue is a little unexpected. Look, I'm looking for a ship mine. He shrugs. Well, yes, I can see that. I've been digging through the archives myself, although slightly less forcefully than you. I did have this whole speech prepared for whatever salvager was ripping through these archives so messily, not to mention aggressively, but now that I know it's you, well, I'm just glad to see you. Although you really need to be more careful. You could have taken the entire archive down the way you were working with it. These machines are decades old. You can't just rifle through them like they were a pile or a scrap pile. I saw the pattern of your queries, a prime mine ship equipped ship, still operational at the collapse, last located in the region around Healing Gate. You can feel how pleased she is with herself from here. Is that about right? Yeah, well, nicely done. She nods. Would you expect anything else? That's why I did the hard work for you. Jeannie beckons you over to the lone lit up terminal. You drift over and see a single point, a faded transit trail beside it. Sunward from the Healing Gate. Something like this maybe? She smiles and steps aside so you can see the screen. You check the info pane beside this map. Ship mine in use, abandoned by all hands after the collapse. Tantalizing in reach. What can I say? Try. Thank you, Junie. But Junie turns in the glow of the terminal, meets your eyes. I have complete seriousness. The question is, what do you want it for? I mean, she did lie to us at the beginning, but it's fine. I'll just explain. Tell her that Jamin told you about your shifting body transformed by some unknown influence, but the need for a prime ship mine to house your emulated mind while he runs a diagnostic process. She's silent for a moment, unsure how to respond. I'm sorry, Sleeper, but I think I can help you. I want to come with you. Junie gives you a strong look. You know how often someone gets out to one of those old Solheim wrecks? They're more trouble than they are worth. But contained inside, there's entire history to uncover and take, you mean? This isn't like last time, I promise. I have no interest in the ship mine, but everything else, it's too big of a chance to pass up. I know I can't force you or trick you into taking me, that's why I wanted to offer you this instead. She indicates the terminal, still showing the ship's final resting place. I hope that maybe if I helped you find what you needed, it would show that I can be trusted. I mean, she did find the ship for us. I know she lied to us before. But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I'm gonna trust you. But if you do betray me this time, it's shame on me and you're no longer to be trusted. She smiles. Thank you for saying so. I'll send the coordinates to your ship and I'll be hanging around the gate until you're ready to leave. She shifts in front of the terminal and plugs in her deck, tapping away at rapid speed. If you need to go get supplies from the spindle or anywhere else, fine. She folds her arms. I'll wait. But if you go on the job without me, I'll get the message. She shrugs. You won't see me again. With that, you leave her in the archive, extracting data as you ascend back to the Healing's Gate upper levels. Okay, we got a new contract. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we need to do the rest of this now. Oh, this is 100% positive. Okay, I'll just do this one then. Very nice. We got within the gate. Okay, so what do we get? Seized cargo. Search for supplies. Okay, we're fairly good on supplies. This gate structure. Cut away scrap. Most of the gate is corroded beyond use, but deep in the structure you can still find good metal. Data scrapping. The gate's networks collapsed long ago, but there's data to be found in the old terminals and servers inside the structure. Well, I got a 1 die, so we'll just do a 50-50. Yeah, we lost all our energy. No. Shit. Okay, well. Let's, make a meal. Cycle. Okay, well, first off, we need fuel ASAP, so we do need to do this. 100% positive outcome. Okay, we got 3 fuel from that, which is very nice. This is 25, 50, 25. Got 2 fuel. We did lose some energy for that. Oh, we scrap. This is 50-50. And we're starving once again. Well, they get more scrap, I guess more supplies. 50-50, not the best, but we did get, okay, we got enough fuel. We can get some supplies. Okay, no, we just losing, okay, whatever. Shit. Okay, let's end cycle. Let's look for some more supplies before we leave. We get guaranteed one supply. 25, 50, 25. Again. I think we can be fine with 4 out of 5. We're gonna go do the... Let's do this, I guess. Oh shit, that actually costs a lot of energy. We got stress from that, god damn. Let me just nuke our energy. Okay, we got one supply. Okay, you know what? Let's the map. Let's go do this. Confirm. We will take. I said that we would take her. Cruise full. Okay. I don't know. Extract the prime ships. I think she's gonna be better off for extracting than Eugen will be. So we'll take Junie and Bliss with us. Junie, obviously, because of the quest line. And then Bliss is just a bit engineer, so you know. Oh shit, one of my dice broke. God damn. We're too far sunward. Sleeper, Seraphim turns back in his chair to look at you. I don't like it. It's hard to not agree. The coordinates Junie found have drawn you out of the Helion Gate and almost out of the belt completely in the soft rubble-strewn transit with the Helion system to the edge of Conway-controlled space. That's why the ship is likely to be untouched. Junie surveys the wreck coldly. It's too far sunward for belt traffic to run into. Now, with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Well, lucky us. Junie eyes you, trying to detect if you are being sarcastic or not. I doubt anyone would have been here in decades, so actually I would say we are lucky. Any drone signals? Nothing I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphim flicks a few switches. We should assume they're out there. As you look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphim. He has seen it too. We better get to it, Sleeper. Seraphim begins unclipping from his seat, quickly and quietly. From what I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest. Junie unclips too. So as long as we are quiet, we don't have to contend with an operator. Just automated search sweeps. So if we are a detective, we will be killed by a machine, not a person. Liz shakes her head. I don't find that very reassuring. They get up out of the corner seat and glide towards the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you need the ship mine, so no matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Okay, so Conway alert, watching for drones. Fortunately, one die broken. You can't fix it on these little side missions, so... Explore the ship isn't into it. Starting up network architecture might bring unwanted attention, while exploring in person is likely to keep your crew undetected. Extract map data's interface. Some of the ship's network architecture still functions. Accessing map data from it will help you explore the wreck. Okay, so we got two sixes with her. Goddamn, I know you can't see, but I mean I can move myself. You can see. Look, I got 2 6s on her. Very nice. Okay, so you are interface, so we're just gonna do This, 100%. Okay. 25, 50, 25. Kind of risky. Got a neutral outcome, so you got a bit stressed from that. This is a 50 negative, so they could watch us from this. Just too stressed. Okay. 9. Okay, before I do that, do I have... No, I only have 2 points. Need 4. Okay. 25, 50, 25. Let's see. We actually got positive. Nice, we got 25. I don't know if I want a 50-50 yet. These dice rolls are just kind of bad. You know what? We have the supplies. We're just gonna rest. I'm gonna waste these die. And we actually got better rolls here. Unfortunately, we got some breaking. Okay, let's 50-50 on the positive end. And nice. Again, 50-50. Nice, we got it. Junie leads you deep into the wreck through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. As you begin to tire of the endless dark and the haze of particles washing over your suit, Junie leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object, half your height, but raised on a complex pedestal from which countless thick cables sneak off into the dark like braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth with glinting severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls, or twist and curve out of sight. Beautiful, isn't it? Junie stares at the prime mine ship, a ship mine. The star is reflected in her faceplate. Not bad. Junie glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out her terminal and looks for an access port, she talks softly, her voice carried through the suit comms. These cables lead off to every one of the ship systems: engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. The ship mine has hardwired access to them all. When an old ship like this was running well, the ship mine would distribute itself, some of its protocols running freely in different sections. It would be less like a single governing mine and more like a load of systems clumped together to form a complex living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being, a plant with incredibly rapid processing power and a much more accelerated response time than your average tree. Watch as she finds an access port and slips a cable inside, slotting a translucent screen onto the top edge of her deck. Let's see here. Junie's screen fills with bright scrolling data. Incredible, there's so much here. She hits a few keys. I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need. Watch as Junie starts rapidly tapping at her keyboard, her attention sucked into the data she extracted. Okay, Junie, the ship mine. She snaps out of the trance. Sorry, yes, let me check. As I thought, she sighs. So, like as I was saying, the protocols inside the ship mine are distributed, so when the ship mine is shut down unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in the unit. She places a hand gently on the cylinder. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere in the ship system's nodes. She has a few keys, which is a problem. Okay, so why does it matter? If we rip this thing out now with parts of its protocols elsewhere, it's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. Now, that does not sound positive. It's a matter that we are going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It'll be too late. The mine inside the ship mine will be broken. When we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, protocols will be sent right back into the ship mine here, and we can take it out clean. Okay, so how do we find the nodes? Rather ask the cradle very nicely, or he spends the next cycles following these cables to see where they lead. I've got an incoming signal. Seraphine's voice suddenly cuts through on comms. Urgent and nervous, if you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle. The two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the ship mine. Uh-oh, suddenly a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, and then fades. You take a breath. Too close. Conway drone. Junie whispers, sniffing the network. We're clear, Seraphim chimes in again. We've turned off almost all the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum. Understood, Junie cuts in, but we will need to access the networks to get the ship mine out quickly. Then I hope you are feeling lucky. There's a click as Seraphim closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again, and then at the ship mine, encased in its cradle, wrapped in cables. This is gonna be easy. Okay. Wreck cradle. Track cables. If you want to keep the network quiet, your only option is to track the physical connection so the cradle has with the rest of the ship. Hack cradle. Hacking the cradle directly will reveal data on the ship mines. Still, but any network activity is likely to draw attention to the wreck. Well, they're both considered danger options. I feel like this one should be risky then, and this one's danger. But you know, interface is better. $50-50. We got. Oh shit. This is a bad one. Oh no, I got Conway alert. Oh, you have interfacing. Okay. Shh. I can't rest and recover. Okay, just end cycle. We're gonna have some dice break in here. Shit. Oh, she's useless for this part. Okay, I just realized I can't use her. I mean, I'll go down to a 3. Oh, we got positive. That's really good. Okay, energy neutral. Okay, we got Conway alert from neutral, but it's fine. It's a 4 out of 6. Oh shit, we have 2 port nodes. Okay. Is it engineering? Yes, it is. Cut node. One clean cut through the connecting cable and the node will be disconnected, but mess it up and there could be trouble. Disable node. This node needs to be disabled precisely and quickly to keep your incursion underway. Okay, so you have an interface. Please, 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 I can't let you alert Conway. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Sleeper, whatever you're doing, I recommend you wrap it up right now. Seraphim's voice crackles through the comms. The Conway drone making a beeline for the wreck. Shit. Even with a positive outcome, it still alerts them. God damn it. Melissa's voice comes through now, too. Heading back, she sighs. I'm sorry, Sleeper, but this job's a bust. We can find another ship mine. God damn it. Maybe Melissa's right, you think, but then you feel that sensation, the knowledge that something inside you is changing, whether you like it or not. You realize time is up, that you need to take the ship mine now or lose it forever. As you do, Junie glides up beside you out of the dark. Gives you a calm look, but you see the fear in her eyes. We gotta cut the ship mine now, she sighs. No more time to be safe. God damn it. I fucked up. Oh no. I was too risky trying to find the nodes. Oh no. I should have just used the better dice and just took a rest. God damn. We gotta cut the ship mine now. Okay, no more time to be safe. We'll just have to hope we can put it back together later. I'll do it. Before you have time to argue, she hits the cradle. Oh god. As she plugs into the cradle and begins rapidly hammering the keys, her face uplit the pale blue screen light. See that blinking red light through the screen. Okay, we'll help her. We have 25, 50, 25. Please, 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 please. Yeah, positive outcome minus stress. Nice. You glide over to the cradle and start sorting through the wires. Keeping an eye on Junie, you work in tandem, ripping out connections as she executes commands. You see the network map on the ship mine in your head as you sever its connections. As you work, you sense a being crying out in pain. Grab it, Sleeper. You snap out of your haze and see the cylinder of the now free ship mine floating in front of you. Reach out and grab it, the image of that screaming beast still vivid, like the residual ghost image of a bright light across your eyes. You kick off towards the exit of the room, Junie by your side, and as you do, a percussive impact makes the wreck shudder. Feel something graze your side, but you keep gliding through the ship's tunnels with reckless speed. After an agonizing moment, you and Junie are out, crossing the void towards the open airlock of the ship. The dull metal case of the ship mine gleams beside you. You don't look back. The moment you are inside the ship, you hear Seraphine calling out for you to brace yourselves. As you do, you feel the heavy pressure of thrust, Seraphine's voice loud and desperate as the ship burns hard on a Starward Vector. Yeah, it's the name of the game. Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. Oh shit, we gotta leave. Go, 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 go. Okay, leave. God damn. Driving back at the helium gate, as lonely and cold as it is, it feels like a relief. There was a tension in the rig as you came back of the inner system, a watchfulness for, errant signals and glinting red beacons that choked the conversation. But now, floating in the comforting shadows of this vast ruin, the sense of relief is palpable. That one prime ship mine, condition unknown, retrieved. Seraphine runs the engine shutdown protocols as he speaks. I mark that as a success. You know what? We got a little close. When Seraphine reaches up and flicks a switch above him, do we not? Super, can I speak with you? Julie asks from the back of the cockpit. You know, what is it? She leans you out into the passage, tucking herself against the wall. She looks small, even in this compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I proved I am trustworthy. Look, I never did to you. Well, I felt a little betrayed, but we're fine. That's nice to hear. She smiles at the floor. Thank you. In my time here in the Belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends. She falters, tripping over her words slightly. But you, Sleeper, well, I hope you'd consider me a friend at least. You know what? I would. She can't help but smile. I'm glad. Then I'd like to ask you something. She pauses out. Would you consider taking me with you on the rig? She blurts out, and then before you can answer, I think I would be of help for your diagnostic. In the meantime, I can take a look at the ship mine. Make sure it's ready, and you know what? Yes, it's fine. More the merrier, okay? She stops, speechless. She looks down at her hands and then back up at you. Okay, she smiles. Thank you, She looks down again. I will find a bunk. And she quickly glides off down the corridor before you can say anything farther. Another strike collected. Seraphine puts a hand on your shoulder. Quite the refuge we are building here. He gives you a sly smile. Look, we need her. I don't doubt it. Seraphine squeezes your shoulder. Let's get that ship mine to float some. I'm sure Junie will prove herself there once again. He smiles and pushes off of your shoulder, gliding towards the engine room. You look towards the bunks, but Junie is already out of sight, likely unpacking already. The ship is getting a little crowded, but you are starting to realize you like it that way. Or you like it like that. At the very least, she'll prove invaluable when you need to get the float some. Have to deal with Jean-Mine. Meanwhile, or perhaps she even has a read on the old man. You pause for a second, appreciating the warmth, the hum of the rig and its inhabitants. The ship, you think, is starting to feel like home. Well, okay, we'll do a bit of salvaging for fuel of recruited Junie for your crew. Got an achievement. Okay, well, we're gonna get a little bit of fuel. 50, 25, 50, 25. And nice, nice, nice. We're all fueled up. We're actually going to go... We're actually not going to go back to Flotsam immediately. We are going to go to Green Belt. Plus 3 fuel, that's fine, no problem. So we're at a new location. So the rival tower... We actually had no talk here. Talk your way in. The Green Belt is locked down thanks to fears among Utsubo influence, but perhaps you can convince them you have a reason to head inside. That would great permission. You don't have permission to get inside Greenbelt, but that won't stop you putting together a fake pass or document asking you are let in. Okay, okay. Greenbelt Depot. Okay, so we can buy some. And there we go. Very nice. And depot storage. Retrieve spores. The depot workers aren't very happy about keeping Spores here for cycles. They won't release you till you pay a handling fee. Thanks. Sucks. 50-50. Bro. Just minus energy. God damn, it's not even worth it. Also, we need to fix our dice, by the way. Rare components, or we can use scrap components. Okay, we got one rare. Okay. Let's end the cycle. Alright, we need food. Hopefully, if we're let in here, we will get food. Come on. Neutral. I'll have to use a supply, unfortunately. It's not even worth using the negative die, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just end the cycle. Oh, we got actually access, okay. Greenbelt buzzes with focused activity. Passages full at shift change, then empty once the work begins. It's a place that runs on its own schedule, comfortably so. That comfort brought by being one of the largest food producers in the belt. There's always work in these fields, protected by a thick skin of transparent layers, and you can see why the humble life it offers has captured more than a few of the belt's itinerant workers. Sleeper, the voice, soft but forceful, takes you by surprise. As you turn, you are met with a delicate face wearing Aki, confused expression. Apologies, I mistook you for someone else. She covers her embarrassment with a smile. I'm Aki, what brings you to Greenbelt, friend? You know, I'm currently just looking. Aki notes gently. Well, we aren't usually open to spectators. But I'll make an exception. She clasps her hands together. Come with me. Aki leads you through a series of doors, gliding down into passages cut into the rock, and up following pipes into metal passages that cross the fields themselves. She stops on a bridge overlooking the soft curves of farmland that makes up one of the asteroid's two biospheres. Below, leaves flap in zero G's, waves spreading out across the sea of green. The varieties we farm here are specially selected and customized for microgravity. She puts her hands on the railing at the edge of the bridge. We feed them from beneath, irrigating and nourishing them through the very medium they grow within. The light of Helion helps us with this, of course. Aki squints through the transparent roof at the distant pale light. Where's the food go? Where are these plants from? Solheim left us many things, including a few seed vaults filled with their own engineered microgravity crops. We turn to face you. Then there are the stacks found across the belt. Self-contained microfarms. We have been able to propagate crops from them in some cases. Interesting. But how about you? Aki's sharp eyes take in your expression. Could you contribute to such a place? A green and growing shift in the field? I mean, sure. Aki smiles. Feel free to take a shift below anytime you wish. I will tell the others to expect you. The plants, they have a kind of peace, an eternal quality that makes them seem less fragile than they are. Aki sighs. This place, like any other in the belt, has its pressures. It is for me to navigate them. She looks away, frowning at something in the distance. I must attend to those pressures. Excuse me, I am glad our paths crossed. She bows a shallow bow. I hope they do again. With that, Aki leaves you to look over the sea of gently waving green, an impossibly beautiful, impossibly fragile glass case of growing things. Okay, so we're now able to actually go in. Green fields. Farm shift. Greenbelt rewards its workers with food and board. Most seem happy to exchange their work for simple life. Maintenance work. The farms are as much machine as plant, and those machines need the same careful tending. What is this? The wheat's leaf. Buy a meal. Okay. Well, we can work for now. We have the energy. For engineers, we'll just take this one. Maintenance shift. Get +2, we get energy for it, so... This one's a 50-50 positive neutral. Got a neutral outcome, which is good. And we got a neutral with that, too. Okay. Okay, we got 2 for the hunt right now. Lane. We can stay here another day. We don't technically... I mean, this is just like side quest stuff, I think. I'm just working on seeing what this is all about. Fallen energy. Yeah, this is 25, 50, 25. We got neutral. Okay, let's continue. You have a natural ability with the plants. Aki's voice makes you look up from your work. It is rare. You expect Aki's typical worn smile, but she looks pale, distracted. I have something I want to discuss with you. She leads you out of the biome into the damp, rock-cut tunnels that run just under the surface, all across Greenbelt. I'm sure you noticed the section of our fields that have been lying fallow, Aki says as she glides through the low tunnel. It's been like this ever since I took over as administrator here. My predecessor was the one to fail it. My confidence was lost in his vision, she shakes her head. But we have been unable to recover it. No matter the crop, the preparations, nothing will take it. Aki leads you through a set of double doors and then up into the second biosphere. Immediately, you feel a difference. The air is dry, a thin, choking dust fills the space. Aki puts out a hand and rubs the dust between her fingers. With its output halved, Greenbelt is under threat, she sighs. Those who wish to control this place are circling. We cannot lose our independence. But I wasn't always in the belt. Aki stares out in the dry landscape. I was born on a moon, Ember's Step. A failed experiment in terraforming from before the collapse. We survived by cultivating the dust. I came here, like many, in the shadow of the war. My ship lost. Aki pauses and takes a moment, the loss still fresh in her mind. But it held the key. Aki looks to you, and perhaps holds it still. She wipes the dust from her fingers. Step silk, a plant that thrives in the dry and the dust. Oh, a plant that might thrive here. I've seen your ship, and you have shown me you are to be trusted. I want you to go to the remains of my own, the wind's long shadow, and try to recover anything we might use. A plant, a husk, a seed, anything. It is a desperate step, she frowns and looks away. Okay, so where's the ship? The wind's long shadow lies wrecked beyond the sunward edge of the belt, beyond Helion Gate. Aki pauses. I do not know what remains. My crew and I were lucky to escape. Greenbelt has reserved of cryo for moments like these. We will pay you for the retrieval, of course, depending on what you are able to retrieve, Aki sighs. This is our final recourse. I hope I will not be judged as harshly as my predecessor. I can offer you fuel for the trip from our reserve, she bows slightly. The journey to Helion Gate and the wreck beyond will require it. Come, Aki turns. Let us go back to where the green things grow. She smiles. It is a better place to consider the future together. And Aki leads you away from the barren biosphere, the door scissoring shut behind you. Okay, we got a new contract. We're gonna do that because it's on the way anyway. We'll come back here. Okay, we're gonna do this. Let's go. We are fueled up. Let me buy some more supplies before we leave. Okay. Map. She says she'd give us the energy or the fuel for it, so we'll, that's fine. I'm assuming she'll give us the fuel when we get back, so I'm not gonna, like, fuel up. God damn, it took 7 fuel to get there. Okay. It's gonna cost 4 fuel. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to look up for fuel myself then. Okay, 3. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Let's go. Wait, actually, before we do, I think we can just use all these. Let's see. I know it's gonna cost the energy, but yeah, the dice, and these I think we just reroll anyway. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. That is... Let's go. Okay, so I wish you would tell me like what I kind of need, like what skills. I think I should do it. This is for, we have the... I don't know who I need. You? Yeah, I'm gonna take you, I think, instead. Yunjin and Junie. Let's go. Okay. The wind's long shadow floats, broken open, at the sunward edge of the belt. On the refuge ships that made the fraught journey out to the belt from the inner system before the war truly took hold, the wind's long shadow is a monument now, and a warning to any other vessel that might stray sunward. Are you telling me that's where we are going to seed hunting? Yunjin shakes his head. Aki's in more trouble than we thought. It is hard to imagine that this cold, dead space might hold some key to the future of a settlement as verdant as Greenbelt, but that is why you are here. Step silk husk, that's what Aki said. The crop she brought from her home, carried out with the refugees. If there's anything left, it'll be your job to continue its journey from this place. It is no salvage job, Sleeper. Seraphin gets up from his cockpit seat. You need to be delicate. The more of those things we can get out, the more Aki will pay. Not to be totally mercenary, Seraphin winks at you. You look out at the wreck, shrouded in debris. Delicate, right? Time to put that to the test. Okay, so we got a few things here. Crop processing. Open cut bays. Systematically cutting open the bays to find husks is safer and smarter, but slower than tearing them open. Break open bay. Okay. The split in the ship has revealed layers of bays and machines for processing step silk. Breaking them open might reveal forgotten husks. Step silk research, finding step silk husk left behind in the processing hay. We'll take care, patience, and a little luck. Depressurization. The bays are leaking atmosphere, and your search is making it worse. If they lose it all, any husk. Okay, I understand. Get a little bit of stress from that though. Don't really like it. A little stress. Oh, that causes depressurization. Okay, let's check the other places. Broken dust house. Section search. Sifting through the clouds of dirt section by section is the safest way to cover any husk that might have survived. It's into it. Dirt clear. Dust house. The dust house is full of dirt and shrapnel. Clearing it might hurt some husks, but it might also destroy them. Step silk dig. Digging through the remains of the old dust house is an act of hope. Can anything have survived this? Fragile husks. The step silk husk and dust are easily exposed. One wrong move and will be destroyed forever. Well, I won't do that one. Storage vault. Scan for husks, so this is interface, okay? Which I can use Genie for here. There are a lot of containers to search. Scanning for organic material will help, but the debris is still an issue to it. Search for husks. The ship's vault is full of sealed containers that might hold a protected step silk husk, but it's also full of dangerous debris. Container hunt. There has to be a container in the storage vault that has some step silk inside. The trick is finding it. Okay. This is 100% positive, so we'll do it. This is 50-50. I'm assuming I get stressed if I get too stressed. Okay, yeah, that's actually quite big. Do this one. Oh shit, I get stressed for neutral outcome. Oh no, that's not really good. We're gonna break dice at 2. Yeah, at 2 dice now we're gonna break it. And it's not really good. How many dice are gonna break here? None of them, luckily. We got lucky. I got a little stress from that. Oh shit, neutral. You're engaged, right? Okay, 100%. We'll just open this. Okay, there we go. We got it. Check. We got 1 step silk husk. Okay. 50, 25, 50. Oh shit, we got +1 and this we got new. 100% on this one. I'm not gonna do this because if I fail for her, she's cocked. Just do this. We're gonna break 3 dice now. Oh no. Okay, we're just gonna rest. We have 3 supplies still, it's fine. Our dice are gonna start breaking though. Yeah. %, positive. Okay, good. What's neutral gonna do? Oh, we got positive. Okay, that's good. Nice, we got it. We got another seed. Perfect. This is the one that's the most difficult. 25, 50, 25. Okay, we got positive outcome from that. Oh, that was so good. We're super stressed too. I'm gonna end cycle on all these like 2 dice. We're gonna risk breaking dice here though. We broke a shit ton. Okay, well, the thing is we got 6, so we're gonna get them. I'll fix all the dice when we get back. We're done. We got them all. Nice. Retrieved all 3 step silk husk from the wreck. Got them all. That was an achievement. Dust House Blues. If the wreck wasn't dead before, now scoured of the final husk of life, it surely must be. As Airfin starts up the drive, you give the wind's long shadow a final look in its resting place. It is hard to feel sad about another chunk of scrap orbiting in a system that is made of nothing but the scrap of past regimes. But the people who lived on and built the ship, those people are worth a moment of memory. Think of them as you prepare to leave and hope that they, like Aki, have been carried on to new lives beyond the desperation of escape. And those that didn't get out, you hope you're passing through this place and not disturb them. Guess we are leaving. Goodbye. You have to see the sleeper. Junie comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first I didn't believe it. Junie can't help herself while she leads you through the ship. There are mentions occasionally, but I've always understood them to be references to something smaller, a system or unit, not an entire facility or even a series of facilities. Find yourself in one of the more sparse bays of the rig, a corner with a sloped ceiling used for storage. So I checked other records, tried to find correlations, and well, there they were. You see Junie approaching what looked like a clump of scrap components when you entered. Now looking closely, you see it's actually a section of the core you extracted from the Solheim Delaric, one Junie was so eager to acquire. She sees you looking curiously at what remains of the core. I found it to deconstruct it over time, pulling away the layers of security and corroded outer systems, but all the data has been scrapped and stored. I used data from the Delaric near Helion Gate too. That was the key to cracking the cipher. She looks very pleased with herself. It's really quite something. To confirm a rumor like this, I surprised myself. She turns to you, a slightly manic look in her eyes. Okay, so what did you find? They refer to them as bunkers. Junie shifts to her death, floating on the end of thick connecting to cable. They were a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into the network by arrays, intended for vast amounts of data capture to be poured over by a small staff. Junie tapped a few keys on her deck. Ghosts were understood to have been purged in the collapse, shut down, depressurized, even sent on collision trajectories with other bodies. She pauses, though I suspect that last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people deny they even exist, that we are misreading the data, that the evidence doesn't hold. Junie turns the deck screen to face you, but I found one. You see a map, a set of coordinates, on the sunward side of Holmes Rock, the edge of the belt. And you want to go? Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine, Junie pauses, at least from a data archaeologist's perspective. She sees your reaction, and Junie adds, will they convince you? In truth, we don't know what else is in there. There could be Solheim's hacked blueprints, data never before seen on the belt. Okay, we'll take a look when we get there. I'll give Seraphine the details, she smiles. We could be making history here. And thank you, Sleeper. Junie bows her head a little. I never would have found this without the core you gave me. I understand that was a sacrifice on your part. Now it's time to claim the rewards. You leave Junie in the storage bay, working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know through all the excitement what the real value of one of those bunker facilities might be. If they are as well hidden as Junie says, there must be a reason. When there's time, you hope to find out what that reason is. Okay, we got a new so is it here? No, it's not here. Okay. So this is in... It's a major mission too. Okay, let me just see where it is first off. Okay, so it's up here in Holmes Rock, okay, but we're not going to go there right now. We're doing Aki's mission right now, which is actually a major mission, interestingly enough. While we are here, we're going to repair the dice. Fortunately, we are actually kind of running out of dice repairs. No, our glitch bar's full. Excuse me, that's not a good sign. We need also more scrap. God damn it. We only have 6 fuel. I need one more fuel to get back. Okay, we're good. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Gate structure. Oh. 50-50 if we get some scrap or not. I did get one raw scrap. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave and we go back here. Yeah, 7 fuel. She said she'd pay for our fuel, so we should get a full fuel back when we get back. You bring the steps to the husk you gathered from the wind's long shadow to Aki, and she is as pleased as you would expect. You meet her on the bridge overlooking green fields, the greenbelt workers quietly toiling below, while the air recycler's wind gently rustles the leaves of the crops. Sleeper, Aki holds the husk to her chest. Thank you, these are a new beginning for us. Aki pauses, knitting her brow. How was she, the wind's long shadow? Fortunately, she was a dead wreck. Aki sighs and looks at the green belt fields. Everyone must die in the end. The belt makes wrecks of us all. She looks back at you. Oh, you have brought me? This is new life. It gives us time. We will need to clear and reseed the other biosphere. Aki bows. I hope you will return to us when the work is done. Presses a handful of chits in your hand. Thank you. She meets your eye. You watch her carry the husk gently away, glowing with the promise of fresh growth. I thought she said give us fuel. Where's the fuel? Okay, so it's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles to do that. No problem. Bro, I got scammed. We got a bunch of money. We got 400, which is very nice. Sure. Okay. I don't think I need to do anything here, so let's just leave. Oh, okay. You know what we can do actually? Let's go here. Just rest and recover. We got positive outcome. Okay. And now with that, let's we gotta wait for this. Let's go back to the spindle. Oh yeah, let's go do this first. On the way back, we have full fuel. Oh, sorry. Belt. Then we're gonna have to go here first. We're gonna have to make a class of 7 fuel. Okay, I don't really want to be like looking for fuel here. We're going back to spindle. Gas is 4. Let's just go. We'll refuel back here. And we're back at the spindle. Any way I can get more? Okay, we will buy more stuff here. Just to make money. Oh right, we still have to do this one. I completely forgot. We don't have engaged, so we can lose in it. No. Okay, so we have to do that. It's gonna take a while. Gambler's friend is 5. Okay, we can buy scrap components. Okay, how much? So, what type of scrap components is this? Okay, so this is what it is. Let's process some scrap here, I guess. I don't know what to do with the process scrapped. First thing we're gonna have to buy. Well, I keep some just in case. This. All fixed up. Okay. You want your this? There you go. Alright, your spores. You remembered us. Nemba appears at the loading dock, slate in hand, as you load the crates into the back of the kitchen. I'm a little surprised. Why? I said I would do it. You look at the chef. He looks tired, though his sharp eyes haven't dulled in the time between your meetings. Well, didn't believe me? Well, it's more that I feel a little drained of optimism. Don't take it personally. Nemba glides over to a crate to take a look. He squints at the crumbled corners and bent lids. Not in great condition, though. How long have you been bouncing around with these holds? I mean, they're like that already. Now that I can believe. They didn't bother to bring them to the right station after all. I have a place picked out in one of the bays to cultivate them. Warm, damp, near the air recyclers. He pushes one of the crates gently into the kitchen. Shouldn't take long before we have mushrooms to cook. You follow Nemba into the kitchen, remembering your shifts working here. They were long, but the company was good. And as with all things, the difficulties have faded with time, leaving a golden sheen behind. Nemba seems to catch the way you are looking at the kitchen. Much the same as before, I'm sure you noticed, but twice as oversubscribed. Each cycle, more refugees come out of the inner system. The war isn't going anywhere. Nemba pushes the crate into a storage rack and pulls netting across it. They disperse across the belt, of course, but many don't make it much farther than the overhang, especially if they can't work. It's not just food either. We need blankets, housing. Nemba suddenly pauses and shoots you a look over his glasses. Tell me, how was Greenbelt? Well run. I heard it was organized as a cooperative, all the workers sharing in the trade of their goods, but no chits exchange, only resources for the colony. Namba watches you closely. We have to pay cryo for the spores. Well, they can't all be saints, he smiles. I'm sorry for that. Mentioned it because, well, it might be the kind of place to offer aid to the people here, Nemba sighs. I regret being mercenary, but waiting for benevolent helpers doesn't help, or doesn't work. Apart from the exceptions, of course. I can speak to them. It's worth a shot. Nemba looks at you in the eye, but you need to trust first. Earn that, then talk. Feeling Nemba was waiting for your suggestion. Here, he takes one of the crates of spores. I'm sure they can use these. Take them as a gift. He pushes it to you. Don't begin with the spores. Begin by understanding what they need from you. Trust me. You have a feeling Nemba is good at getting what he wants. Meanwhile, I have meal prep to begin. He takes a deep breath. Thank you for the spores. Really. I'll keep asking for help. You have to forgive me for that. He smiles. It doesn't mean I don't understand what you are giving. Now get out of here. Nemba waves you away with your crate of packed spores. His expression somehow both withering and encouraging at the same time. Okay, we got a new miner drive upgrade. Very nice. Oh, earn Aki's trust. I mean, we're gonna go back there later anyway, so we'll do that one after. We're gonna do this one first, and then we'll go. We have like an order of things to do. Let's just do the gambler stuff now, because we're here. I need to unlock this one. 50-50. We're just gonna like lose them. We're literally gambling. We need Gambler's Friend, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a negative, unfortunately. I mean, that's what I expected, though. Okay. We'll stay here a little bit because we still have our hunt stacks. It's fine. Yeah, I got 3 glitch dice today, boy. This one, at least we got oh, right, it's 100 because we lose 2 because we don't have engage. Everything is, these are 2080s. This one's gonna be tough to do. We actually got positive there, that's nice. 50-50. Okay. Probably gonna cost me more than it. And cycle. Yeah. 25, 50, 25. Okay. 2080. Actually got positive, quite nice. Now we got positive again. It's not even really worth it to do it here. I'm just gonna lose energy or whatever. We'll just end cycle. We're almost done it. We're almost got a Gambler's Friend unlocked, so we'll just say the extra turn here. We got 3. Then here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Nice, we got it. Gambler's Friend. Oh, here it is. Venture gambling. Now that you are vouched for, you can play games in the casino, but you feel the eyes of security on you. People are usually suspicious of sleepers, but they get especially suspicious when you repeatedly win games with chance. Uh-oh. Oh, we get, oh, so we win? Oh, so we can only do this like a few number of times? Okay, so we got like 25 crowns in this. God damn. We just got a bunch of chits from doing that though. Okay. Well, we're all fueled up. I guess I thought that would be like a side quest, but it's not. So we're just gonna go back to doing our story back here. We're gonna go fuel and we'll reduce the hunt. We're back in Soul Hunt, or not Soul Hunt. We're back at where the hell this is. Holmes. Oh, it is here. I don't know, that's over here, isn't it? Holmes Rock, yeah, it is. I don't know. We're back wherever. Okay. Let's talk to him. Here we go, we got the prime ship mine. Hopefully it's not damaged. Come, let's get you inside. Jamin swings open the creaking, corroded door beside his booth. Treasure prize must have levied a heavy cost. You glance beside you to Junie, who insisted she came along, and on not letting the prime ship mine out of her sight. Your friend too. Yes, yes, please come in. Jamin beckons and then turns back and disappears inside. Junie squints at you. Are you sure you trust this one? I mean, I don't have much of a choice here, she sighs. I suppose not. Lead on then. You both squeeze through the door and drift down into the workshop. You are aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, sleeper. Jamin is already at the chair, arranging his array of articulated arms. And I'll take that ship mine if you please. You hold the ship mine in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to Jamin. He grabs it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily, tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bar to hold yourself in place. Watch as Jamin begins connecting up the prime ship mine. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arms. Suddenly, you feel Junie's hands pass among your own. You look over into her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. You know what, thank you. She nods silently. Junie calls across the room. You're going to need to talk us through what you're about to do. Of course. Jamin is slotting an arm-thick cable into the ship mine. A little patience, please. All of this is very technical. He turns to face you both. What is your friend's name, sleeper? Junie. Junie answers for you. And I tell you that you are using a Solheim-built data cradle modified to handle a prime ship mine 3 hours off at speed, which will work as long as you manage the data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into the asynchronous cortex cache. Yes, Jamin eyes her, a small smile across his lip. As I said, technical. What happened to me? Jamin refocuses on you. It depends, he says while preparing the far end of that thick cable. What are you referring to as me? The problem we have is with your frame, your body, atypical altercations, biosynthetic corroding, unusual growth. Jamin shakes his head. From the diagrammatics I have, these are not typical of frames, even those that have been rebooted as you have. In order to investigate safely, I must transplant your emulation, in basic terms your mind, but in reality, not so basic. He smiles in an attempt at reassurance. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind-body paradigm has long been disproved. Cognition has physical basis. So, I must first distribute the emulation between your hardwire and the prime ship mine. The hardwire will co-run the emulation like the two lobes of a brain. He puts his hands together as if in prayer, and slowly separates them. The motion makes you feel sick. Then, for a short period, I will disconnect the two. For those moments, you will, in a sense, be in two places at once, though each lobe will be partial. Too long in this state, and the two partial emulations would decay, but each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame and its base system language. Yeah, this is really complex, I'm just gonna say, but it also seems extremely risky, but if this is what we need to do to get Lane off our ass, then this is what we gotta do. I hope this is understandable. Jamin gives you a serious look. One of the most curiously human aspects of sleeper experience is that you, too, do not inherently understand or conceive of the systems that allow your existence. Okay, so what are the risks? Jean-Mi pauses, considering his words. The risks are many and severe. Emulation collapses, thief among them, or as chief, sorry, chief among them. This would be terminal. But counter to this, I do not believe the changes to your frame are in a positive direction. Jean-Mi claps his hands. The greatest risk is to do nothing. We have little choice but to proceed. Now, before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mine. Jean-Mi gestures to Junie. Please, if you'd like to come with me and oversee the process, I would be pleased. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance and then glides over to the ship mine, obscuring your view of it. You hear quiet conversation between the two of them, their silhouettes lit by the flickering screen light of scrolling lines of code. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous that action is when your frame requires no oxygen at all to function. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such thoughts, a jarring disconnect, like when descending a staircase, your foot expects to step and finds a void instead. You try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean-Mi assess the mine. The ship mine is pristine. Junie turns back just towards you. Our care in its extraction seemed to have paid off. Junie smiles. This is good news. I wasn't really careful, but glad it works. Junie is indeed right. You have done well. Jean-Mi approaches. I am, however, seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the ship mine was designed to house. The one that ran the ship it was installed in. I would expect to see it in full. He angles his head and lifts his shoulders in a slow shrug. The protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mine. Instead, I simply wipe the traces. Jean-Mi stops beside you. Protocol, Jean-Mi adds. Not like an emulation, like your emulation. It has no integral physical element. It is data only, and therefore it could be anywhere in that ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. Okay, well, then let's just get on with that. I mean, it concerns me? Not really. That's it. I don't think so. Tommy nods and lifts the far end of the cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port on the back of your head. Junie settles beside you again. Gives you a silent look. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the piled tech there that you hadn't noticed before. A small metal skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frown, trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. You are split like a cell dividing, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark, and the cloud rushes in to fill the gaps at the center. Where am I? You ask a question to your mind, and you feel it travel across the gap as it forms, like a finger drawn across your scalp from ear to ear. But not your scalp. You have no scalp, no head. You are stretched out like the skin of a drum, looped like the string of a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle, and then you feel it, a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. The flickering, what the hell? Trembling. A thought coming into being, a thought. The thought flickers in front of you, and you recognize that it is not your own. Assists a burial, assist, offer help, assists a sickness. I mean, I don't know. Let's say this one, a burial. Disintegrate, the thought answers. The hell? You fold up in blankness, then a moment after you unfold like waking. Partition to divide, appartition to appear, perdition to suffer. What do you want me to disintegrate? Partition, dwelling, and dwell, the thought answers. You stretch into infinitude, then a moment after you contract like waking. I don't know what it means by indwelling and dwell. In spirit, to haunt inside. Inspire, to grow inside. Instill, to flow inside. I think it's like in spirit. Substitute, substrate, the thought answers. Then it approaches, then it enters, then it is yours. You split, then a moment after you reform, like waking, and in the cracks that seal up. For a moment in those cracks, something glows. Sleeper, I'm here. Your eyes flicker flick open like shutters. Junie's face is close, her eyes wide. They're awake, she calls over your head. She looks back at you. Easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turning your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of a body you had already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in. You're okay, sleeper. Tell us you are there, Junie leans. Okay, what happened? The process was successful. Jean-Mi floats beside the chair, his hands clasped in a business-like fashion. Is able to access the frame directly without your emulation being present. Random administrator level diagnostic processes built into its systems and retrieve the results. He takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein chains that code your biosynthetic organs groups cell replacement have been altered. To put it simply, your body is following a new set of instructions. So how? This process, the entire replacement of your protein chains, could have only been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. The word sticks in your mind. Substitution. You say it without thinking. Yes. Jamin reacts as if you were speaking to him. I believe it could only have been achieved with one substance as the carrier. Stabilizer. Stabilizer. The drug essence are designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. The drug you thought you had escaped. So you think that my stabilizer is laced with something? Oh shit, Lane was dosing us. We were being drugged, goddamn. That is what I believe. Jamin looks apologetic. This kind of process, Jamin hesitates now. And you realize the bad news is yet to come. Performed over many, many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. Jamin looks down. I can say you are changing. I can tell you how it was achieved, but I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I am sorry. I mean, the point was to figure out that it's not like it's rough. I understand. I'm sorry, sleeper. Jenny struggles to find words. Perhaps we can find someone else, or she falters, try again. You don't feel able to respond. Finally push yourselves away from the chair. That's slow to cohere. Glide back to the door and then out into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing you like smoke. In the haze, you find that word again, substitute, and begin to wonder what exactly it is that you are becoming. Shit. Major drive. Ooh, we got 2 upgrade points though. Terrafin once more finds you in your bunk. Gently prods you with questions, and you quickly relent. You explain what Jamin said about your suspicions regarding Lane, and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he's done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass. And then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that is the only option to keep going until you're forced to stop. Well, that sucks. Ooh, do you think to another engineer +4? I think we +1 another one. I think we do +1 on relating to it. I'm actually gonna do this. Okay. Alright, I'm just put it on picture. 1 point available. Okay, well, we are done that for now, so let's, you know what, I think actually this is a good time. We'll just end it here. We've just completed a major story mission. We have a bunch of new tasks to go. We have 5 more tasks to work on, at least for now, until we go to some of the areas we haven't been. So we haven't been to Holmes Rock yet, or Wellspring, but we will go to Holmes Rock, I think, in the next episode first. Then we'll go to Wellspring, so we'll go here, and then we'll go back down to the Greens Belt and see what is going on there. So yeah, I'm glad we got a lot done. I was so scared with that extraction that the drive wouldn't work, but it seems like it's guaranteed to work no matter what. Like, I don't know what happens if it doesn't work. Like, do you just like end the mission? Like, what happens if you don't actually even find the drive and you alert the bots or whatever? Like, that seems not good. We need 7 fuel. I'll buy fuel before we go, or before I end. We're not this one. I was also said the right mission. We're gonna travel to Wellspring. We're scatter yards. I know we can't go to scatter yards yet, so we're doing this one next. Okay, all bought up. Damn. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the game so far. Glad we have Junie with us finally. Actually, I did like Junie. She seems like an interesting character for sure. But yeah, that's like for us that we're changing and we can't stop it. We can't do anything about it. We don't know where we're changing to, but that we were just being drug battling the whole time. So that's probably why he's able to like keep track of us this whole time, and we'll have to always be on the run. I think it's fine that we like just move every 3 days. Honestly, 3 cycles is quite a lot. We can get a lot done with 15 dice, so like it's completely fine. But yeah, I'm glad we got this done. Anyways, we have a lot of resources, and we fixed all the glitch. We have no glitches right now. Most of our dice are fixed except for obviously these 2, which will obviously break eventually. Well, hopefully not, but they will. Anyways, I'm enjoying the game so far. A lot of talking for my part, so I have to. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't know why I mentioned that anyway. Anyways, I have to see the next episode.